Hi students, in this module you will be learning about the regulation of functional foods in the world as well as in India. This topic will cover all the necessary conditions that are required for approvals by different countries, how the US gives the approval for functional foods, the nutraceuticals, and how Canada, the European Union, India, and the role of the Food Safety Standard Authority of India, and Japan, which is the country which introduced the functional food in 1980s, how they regulate functional food market in their own country. Then you will be also learning about the claims that are associated, because for approval of these functional foods or regulation, the approval of the claims are also very important. There can be no approval given to claims that are based on false data. So you will be learning about the different type of data that are required by the regulatory authority and the steps that are involved in the safety assessment, the toxicological parameters that have to be satisfied, the labeling guidelines that are there in place which have to be followed, and all these form an important part of the regulation. And lastly, since food trade is a global trade, one must have also the harmonized guidelines that are now available with the Codex Alimentarius, and these guidelines also are the basis of the guidelines that have been developed by various nations. So the food business operator should also understand the framework and the regulatory aspect before he brings out a functional food or a nutraceutical in the market for its beneficial effects. Functional foods contribute to something more than the nutritional property contained in them, to overall good health and help in management of diseases. It may be natural, fermented, or modified by deletion or addition of some already existing constituents or new fortificant. The term nutraceutical was coined from nutrition and pharmaceutical in 1989 by Stephen DeFelice. Nutraceutical is defined as a food or a component of food that has beneficial effects more than its nutritional role. The benefits can range from prevention to management of a disease. Dietary supplements. These foods are consumed in addition to the regular diet and not as substitute or a sole meal. It may be a vitamin, mineral, health, or other botanical, an amino acid, or a concentrate, metabolite, constituents, extract, or combinations of these ingredients. The dietary supplements are sold in the form of a pill, tablet, capsule, liquid form, etc., eaten in addition to the diet consumed by man, which would result in increased intake of these phytochemicals. The emergence of the functional foods and the nutraceuticals dates back to the early part of 20th century, when the discovery of the vitamins and minerals and their roles in nutrition gained importance for their physiological role in preventing deficiency diseases and in maintaining healthy status. Subsequently, this research in the area continued, and in the 21st century, with the discovery of the phytonutrient and understanding the role of non-nutrient in the diet for contributing to good health and prevention of chronic diseases, a lot of interest and knowledge has emerged as to how these minor components of diet can be successfully exploited for human betterment. Why do we need functional foods? Food is eaten to satisfy hunger and maintain optimal nutrition status. However, with the delivery of the phytonutrient, it is believed that the risk of disease and illness can be reduced by consuming either foods rich in these molecules or ingesting these supplements to maintain a state of good health and well-being. Now, the market for functional food is growing globally and predicted to expand further in developing nations. This has stimulated research in this area and the development of standards and guidelines for the sale of these foods and their trade, since food business has become global. Conceptually, it's a new approach and resulted in an emerging market for functional foods and nutraceuticals. These are mostly derived from plant sources and rarely may be of animal origin. The normal components of food like fruits, vegetables, soya, whole grain, and milk have been found to contain the active chemical constituents with potential health benefits. These phytomedicines can be added to normal foods or can be taken as such as capsules, pills, powders, and other formulas for their beneficial health effects or desirable physiological effects. Examples of the functional foods are: at present, a wide range of foods are available to consumer. Some of them are fermented beverages like yogurts with lactobacillus species and bifidobacterium bacter are on the market shelf. These products have prebiotics like inulin and oligofructose and combination of pre and probiotics, symbiotic, etc. These products help in maintaining good gut health and also have immune boosting properties. The addition of prebiotics, which are non-digestible carbohydrate, help in increasing the population of friendly microbes in the gut. Margarines containing added plant phenols and stenol esters may be helpful in decreasing the LDL cholesterol, that is a bad cholesterol, and reduce in turn the risk for coronary heart disease CHDs. Why at all do we require a regulation? The functional food and natural health product industry has become an important part of global food industry. In India, the market for functional food nutraceutical is expanding, and by next 5 years it is expected to occupy a large segment of global functional food industry. The functional foods do not possess clear-cut legal definition, and it's difficult to decide whether a new product should be labeled as food or drug or as supplement. The responsibility of ensuring therefore the safety of the foods which are designed now has become very important. The rules and the regulations therefore for these have to be framed, and they have to be kept in mind the safety aspects also, and the responsibility of ensuring that no harm is done to the consumer health due to indiscriminate aggressive marketing by traders, in the duty of the national authorities who regulate the claims and provide information through the labels. Now that takes us to the Codex Alimentarius. What is a Codex guideline? Since food trade has become a global trade, there is a need for international harmonization of guidelines. Most of the nations follow the guidelines that are given by the Codex Alimentarius. The Codex Alimentarius, or briefly called as Codex, is a joint organization comprising of members from Food and Agriculture and World Health Organization belonging to the United Nations. Both are under the United Nations and established for setting up food standards. It plays an important role in facilitating fair trade practices around the globe. Countries frame their legislations based on the Codex standards. There are claims which are associated with functional foods nutraceutical, and they are of different types. The health claims. Health claims for a particular food or food component indicates that by consuming that food or product prepared out of that food, there may be a beneficial health effect. It may be disease risk reduction or management of a chronic disease, or both. Mostly, consumption of these products require lifestyle and dietary changes that have to be followed lifelong. Therefore, all these products have to necessarily undergo both efficacy and safety tests. Novel foods and traditional foods with deletion or addition of components at higher levels would also undergo toxicological and efficacy studies. The data emanating from these studies would have to be submitted to the National Food Regulatory Authority for approval of the claim. Every nation has a list of authorized statements that are prepared by the regulatory body, which are in turn based on scientific evidences. these claims should follow those guidelines set up by those bodies. Qualified health claim. In order to display a qualified health claim on a food product label, either for a conventional or for a supplement, a relationship between the food and the food ingredient must have an established role in prevention and management of disease, supported by the unequivocal scientific data. The nutrient content claims. Products with a nutrient content claim must give the level of the nutrient in the product. For example, terms like free, high, low, or comparison with the level of nutrient in a food to that of another food, using expressions namely more, reduced, low can be used. While mentioning high or low, a quantitative statement indicating the concentration, for example 200 milligrams sodium or 0.1% trans fat, can be displayed on label. The levels should indicate that these two are present at low concentrations. In other words, the foods containing these two nutrients should meet the criteria of low level of a given portion size. The nutrient content claims are applicable to only those which have recommended daily intake levels or daily value or dietary reference value. There can be percentage claims for dietary supplements, which then fall under another category of nutrient content claims, such as claims that are used to describe the percentage level of a dietary ingredient in a dietary supplement product. Claims under this class refers to dietary ingredients which does not have an accepted daily value. The claim should be then supported by a statement of the amount of the dietary ingredient per serving. Next is the structure and function claim. Structure and function claims can be of two types. The dietary supplement labeling claim, that is claims for general good health, and claims related to nutrient deficiency state. For example, structure function claim must describe the role of a nutrient or a dietary ingredient that affects the normal structure or the physiological function. For example, calcium builds strong bones. This milk product has calcium, which is good for bone health. This is an example of structure function claim that has a relationship with the disease. The food products can also make claims in which a nutrient or a food ingredient acts to maintain the structure or function, like fiber maintains bowel regularly or probiotics enhances similarity. The general health claims indicate that consuming a product containing a particular ingredient or a nutrient which is good for maintaining a healthy status. For example, consuming grape or resveratrol in grapes is good for health. There is no as such any correlation between any disease, but is overall good. And if iron fortified food or product is consumed, it may prevent anemia. This is an example for nutritional deficiency disease, which claims that a beneficial effect can be related to that particular product and can help in combating nutrient deficiency state. The structure function claims for normal dietary component, for example, milk, focus on effects derived from nutritive value present in the food, whereas the structure function for dietary supplement or food products may focus on non-nutritive as well as the nutritive effects, for example, isoflavones present in the soy foods. The regulation of the functional food and the dietary supplements in USA. The US FDA gives approval for all the health claims, which is based on the available data, scientific evidences, etc. As per the FDA regulation, claims can also be based on authoritative statement of a federal scientific body, for example, the National Institutes of Health and Center for Disease Control and Prevention, as well as from the National Academy of Sciences or NAS. Claims for structure, function on food of dietary supplements do not require pre-market approval by the FDA. Approval for the novel food is done in a similar manner to that of the conventional foods. The FDA appreciates if a company makes a claim for these products with its consultation. The nutrition labeling is required under the FDA regulation and includes number of nutrients. In US, the Nutritional Labeling and Education Act, what is known as the NLEA, was established in the year 1990 under the FDA. This act provides guidelines for regulation to make health, nutrient content claim and food product claims and labeling. The claims made so must be in agreement with the Scientific Standard Agreement or SSA. The Food and Drug Administration Modernization Act, which was introduced in the year 1997, the FDAMA, provides for another method to obtain the SSA health claim approval. According to this act, any US federal scientific agency with responsibility for public health or National Academy of Sciences can frame an authoritative statement about potential disease risk reduction claims. The FDA permits qualified health claims, that is, these claims will have to go through the same method of evaluation to obtain the SSA claims. For example, established claim for which the relationships are known, like the relationship between vitamin A and night vision, or calcium and bone and teeth development, or vitamin E as an antioxidant, are validated beyond doubt for use as structure and function claims. The nutrient content claims other than those approved by the FDA are forbidden and requires nutrition labeling under the NLEA Act. It is also the duty of FDA to regulate and monitor nutrition facts tables. There is no definition for the term nutraceutical in the US. A majority of them fall into the category of dietary supplements. These supplements contain an amino acid, a vitamin, mineral, herb, or combination or extract of these nutrients. Dietary supplements are available in USA as pill, capsule, tablet, liquid, or fixed doses, etc. According to FDA rules, generic SSA and qualified health claims, that is disease reduction claims, can be made for dietary supplements provided they satisfy the required criteria for statute. The FDA permits structure function claim for dietary supplement, and these do not require the FDA approval or registration for selling in the market. A list of nutrients must be provided if they are added to the supplement, or if a health or structure function claim is made about a nutrient. Information on serving size and servings per container must also be given on the label of these nutraceuticals and dietary supplements. The FDA is responsible for regulation of dietary supplements through its Center for Food Safety and Applied Nutrition. The Food and Drug Cosmetic Act, or the FDCA, as amended by the Dietary Supplement Health Education Act of 1994, that is DSHA. It is the law that regulates the dietary supplement. The regulation of dietary supplement as food is the responsibility of FDCA. Next, let us see how the regulation is done in Canada. The Health Canada, or the Food and Drug Act FDA of Canada, that is under the Health Canada, regulates the functional foods and is the food regulatory authority in Canada. And the regulatory guidelines and policies are given in the FDA Canada guideline. The Canadian Food Inspection Agencies, or the CFIA, is the enforcement authority for health and safety requirements. Under the Canadian food laws, nutrition and health claims are done on a voluntary basis. The food and natural health product classification is also possible in Canadian law. Classification of products are meant for consumption of a particular supplement or a food category, whether it's as a food or a drug, is also carried out by Canadian FDA. The drug category includes another subcategory which is known as natural health products, or NHPs. These foods, as well as Others are regulated under the FDR because they do not follow under the category of NHPs. These natural health products are sold as over-the-counter substances (OTC), ingested in a specified dose in order to prevent or treat an illness or condition, reduce health risk, or maintain good health. They are sold in various forms like tablets, tinctures, solution, creams, ointment, drops. These products are regulated by Natural Health Product Regulation (NHPR). The classification of these products is done on a case-to-case basis. What about the labeling of foods in Canada? According to the Canadian regulation, the pre-packaged food products are sold in Canada must display the nutrition facts table on their label. This table should give all the nutrient information in an approved format. This must include information on serving sizes, calories as energy content, plus 13 core nutrients that are given in the regulation. All the details should be given in the label. In the case of novel food and food additives, if they do not have the history of the safe uses of food, then proof for their safety should be provided. These foods may be prepared from a process that was not previously used as a food, or it may be a food that has been modified by genetic manipulation, or it may be a biotechnology derived product. Nutrition claims that are permitted in Canada are: Health Canada considers a substance as a nutrient if it is recognized by the United States Institute of Medicine of the National Academy, because Canada is one of the member of the Institute of Medicine in US. Nutrient content and the function claims according to the Canadian regulation is possible, and that should give the quantity of the nutrient that is present in the food, and the claims are listed in the FDR. Those are only permitted. All the nutrient must have an established recommended daily intake levels as permitted under the Canadian law, and the food must have minimum 5% of the daily value given in the mandated nutrition facts table. A list of acceptable nutrient function claim and condition for their use are also prescribed by the Canadian agency. What about the legal framework of food regulation in European Union? The European Union was set up by the European Commission Concerted Action on Functional Foods in Europe, what is known as FIFOS. This was set up by the European Union, and this body supports two types of health claim. One is the enhanced claim that refers to a specific physiological role beyond their established role in nutrition science. Then the second is the claims for reduction of disease risk, that is a disease risk reduction by consuming a product. Examples are reduction of neural tube defect and folic acid, calcium intake, and prevention of osteoporosis. Safety and the validation of the claim is by a program known as Process for the Assessment of Scientific Support of Claims for Food, known as PASS claim, has been introduced by European Union with an aim to establish criteria to assess the scientific substantiation of the health claims, provide framework to prepare statements of claims. The enhanced function and reduced reduction claim both should be based on the scientific evidence. The novel food regulation in the European Union includes the genetically modified food, foods produced from genetically modified organisms, foods produced by algae, fungi, and microorganisms, constituents isolated from plants, animals without a history of safe use, or processed foods which could have altered the characteristics of the food itself. When the health claims are made, nutrition labeling is mandatory. The claims that can be used on other foods can also be used on food supplements. The EFSA, or the European Food Safety Authority, was set up in the year 2002 in the month of January. EFSA is responsible for providing scientific advice on all claims and is responsible for verifying the scientific substantiation of submitted claims. This information serves as a basis for the European Commission and member states, which will then decide whether to authorize the claims. In Europe, nutraceuticals are subjected to existing EU food law, which are implemented on a national basis by different countries. Japan, which was the first country to recognize the importance of functional food and regulate it by using a term FOSHU, that is, food for special health use. This was founded in the early 1980s. All the FOSHU must be approved by the Minister of Health and Welfare after the submission of science-based evidence in support of the claim when they are consumed as part of a diet. Japan uses mostly product-specific system for health claim with another category for genetic claim. Disease reduction, risk, structure function and qualified claims, and some genetic structure function claims are permitted. In Japan, nutrition labeling is required only when a claim is made. There is only two types of health claims, namely foods with nutrient function claim FNFC, foods for specified health uses, that is FOSHU. These are the figures which show the foods that are marketed in Japan as FOSHU. In India, the Food Safety Standard Authority of India under the Ministry of Health is the food safety regulatory body, and it governs the Food Safety Standard Act of 2006. In India, the Food Safety Standard Authority of India under the Ministry of Health is the food safety regulatory body, and it governs the Food Safety Standard Act of 2006. And according to the Indian regulation, still we are in the formative stage, and our regulation includes regulation for functional food, health supplements, new products which must be approved, then nutraceutical food for special dietary uses, etc. Disease risk reduction claims are prohibited and treatment not permitted. The food label in India is again under the FSSAI guidelines and approval. Labeling of packaged food for export must be in accordance to the food laws regulations of importing country, and India, being a developing nation, is emerging as a new economy in the world and is likely to become an attractive market for functional food and nutraceuticals. There is a scientific panel which also considers the proposals that are submitted by food manufacturers, and the authority looks into each proposal on a case-to-case basis. So in this module, you have learned about the regulation of the functional foods and the nutraceuticals. Most of the functional foods, which may be the normal food or the conventional food, may not require very stringent approval procedures or regulatory guidelines. But in the case of medical foods, there is a stringent rule, and the medical foods mostly may be given enterally or parenterally, and this has to be administered under a physician's supervision and also under some kind of hospital setting if it is required in the case of the parenteral nutrition. Secondly, you have also learned about the different type of claim: the health claim, the nutrient function claim, structure function claim, food for special dietary uses, foods that are meant specifically for children or young infants, and so on. You have also learned about the regulation that is present in the European Union. They have a unique way of functioning. They have guidelines that are prescribed by the European Union, and different countries then make their own modifications, which may be not major, but they have their own guidelines and approval procedures in their own countries. Then coming to the Southeast Asian countries, we have Japan, China, Malaysia, various countries which all have their own indigenous foods that are available, nutraceutical supplements which are also available in the market, and China has a unique system, that is, their approvals are given only on the basis of approval by a particular authorized agency of the government. In India, we have the Food Safety Standard Authority of India, who will give approval for this category of foods. There is also a special scientific panel that is existing in our country, which goes through on a case by case basis to give the approval to the products. So you learned in detail about all these aspects and how regulation is in all countries based on toxicological data, safety data, efficacy tests and efficacy data, which are all done in a very controlled manner, and they should be validated because every country is concerned to ensure the safety and the well-being of their own population.